Hi, I'm Daniel Robinson. Welcome to Plumpy, Thimble. Today is not so much a review as it is an explanation on why Millennium Blades is such a good game. Currently, this is my #1 favorite game. Recently, sort of beat out Dead of Winter for being at the top of my list of favorite games. So Millennium Blades, it is a board game about collectible card games and the gamers who play them. It's a CCG simulator, and if you're unfamiliar with CCG, that's a collectible card game. Or TCG, trading card game, similar to Magic the Gathering or Pokemon are the two big ones that are going right now. Upon initially hearing about Millennium Blades, wasn't super interested. Like, there's a million card games out there, and the overwhelming amount of cards in this game was very off-putting, especially the fact that it sounded just sort of like any other card game. But doing a little more research into it, I found that it was a simulation of a trading card game, which is odd. I mean, when I think of simulators, I think of flight simulators, things along those lines. You're simulating doing something very exciting or very different, but not necessarily simulating the CCG experience. Now, I played Magic the Gathering for a few months, and in that short amount of time, I played through a rotation of cards. And what that meant was I probably spent a couple $100s over the course of a few months, which is nothing compared to what most Magic players pay. And in that short amount of time, I started seeing cards that I had paid for become illegal to play because of their age. They just constantly cycle in. It's an incredibly smart marketing scheme, and it keeps local businesses, local game stores in business. It's a fun game. Don't get me wrong. Magic the Gathering and Pokemon are both very fun games. But it was too expensive. There's a lot that goes into the experience of playing Magic the Gathering. Now, you're not just sitting down and playing a card game with one person. You're buying booster packs. You're constructing decks. You're spending time outside of the game figuring out which cards are going to work best. You're buying. You're selling. You're trading. And that's all over the course of a few months before you actually play the game. You're doing everything you can to get ready. You're tweaking your deck. Trading, building collections, you've got oftentimes binders full. So what this game attempts to do and does successfully is takes months worth of a trading card game and compresses all that into 2 hours, 2 really, really fun hours. The first thing that's noticeable that's similar that helps simulate the trading card game experience is the overwhelming amount of cards, and it is overwhelming. Regardless of how many times you play, there's going to be so much information constantly coming in, and you have to adjust. Now, this simulates the process of the trading card game when you're researching online and you're buying cards in stores, you're buying cards online, and you just have a tidal wave of information that you have to somehow compress into a cohesive strategy before the tournament begins. Now, the sets themselves are pretty humorous. So we've got like Sunset Striders as one of the basic single card expansions. Again, you're not using every single set in this deck. You're picking 5 of the basic and you're going on from there. So you mix those special decks in with the Millennium Blades core deck. So this is a deck of 100 or so cards that encompasses a mixture of everything that you can find in the decks. And you mix what you've specifically chosen with these. So there's So the themes that I've got in here, I've got Sunset Striders, which is a play on that 90s arcade game Sunset Riders. There's a Mouse Guard, which is kind of a Redwall type theme. There's Mario Brothers, Firefly, the Samurai Mowdown, Fists of Fury. There's a whole lot of different things. You got Cards Magica, just a Harry Potter spoof. And so you get to flavor this deck however you want. Now, I mentioned that one of the big reasons I got out of playing Magic the Gathering was the monetary cost. I dropped a couple $100s on equipment, on cards, on entry fees. That is not uncommon with every trading card game. And so to emulate that feeling in this game, we've got $1, right? So you have to buy cards in this game. This is $1. Now, the humorous thing is that this is 10 ones piled together, but this is not $10 worth in the game. Each dollar is a fat stack of cash. So when you're buying it, you've got that satisfactory feeling of throwing down fat stacks of cash when you're paying for one card. It's more of a humorous thing. It is the best implementation of paper money I have ever seen in a game. It is absolutely a blast. One of my favorite sort of quirky little things about the game is the money. Now, it took a long time to set this up because I was given stickers and piles of cash and instructed to, group piles of 10 together. And you know what? That's okay. That is part of the charm of the game. The charm of the game is one of the reasons that I love it so much. So obviously buying booster packs, which are those, you see them in the stores, most stores have them. They're usually by the cash register, the blister packs of cards. Baseball cards have similar things. That's the bread and butter for trading card games, is you buy those, and usually there's one good card in that whole pack that you buy, and that's the one you keep. Now, being a simulation, this game sort of condenses everything, and the joke is that it condenses the entire pack down to that one card that you keep. I don't know if you can see this real well, but the backs of the cards are made to look like the back of a booster pack. So instead of actually opening up the packs, you're looking at the back, you can kind of see what stats are in a particular deck of cards or a particular theme. You pay for it, and by opening it, you flip it around and you see what you get. Throughout the course of the game, there's this constantly refreshing store deck. So you're buying from here and you're refreshing it from the top of the deck. This whole grid here, it's as if you went into the store yourself and you pay for, you're like, okay, so this one is worth $3. There's $3, I'm gonna pay for that. You take that card, refresh it from the deck. This is your friendly local game store, or your Walmart, or your CVS, anything. This is where you buy your booster packs. Now, anyone that's played any type of game like this knows that you often need to trade to get the best cards. So you can trade cards with any of the other players. You can sell to the aftermarket. So this is sort of your eBay here. You put a card here, take the money that it's worth, and then someone else has an option to buy it from here and add it to their collection. So you're buying, you're selling, you're trading, just like a trading card game. You can also earn points by collecting sets of cards that are similar in certain ways, and that'll earn you points throughout the game. As the game goes, your binder here, which is just your stack of cards, grows more and more, but you can only take a small amount of these cards into your tournament. Point being, the tournaments is a big part of winning this game, but it's not the only part. Like I said, you can earn points from collecting, you can earn points from saving money, you can earn points by winning tournaments. Those are the primary ways that you can do that. So the first half of the round is the months leading up to the tournament, the buying, selling, collecting, and curating your deck so that you can compete in a tournament. And that's what this is. So this is a timed portion of the game. You're given 7 minutes. In that 7 minutes, you're given a certain amount of cards and $30. Another 7 minutes goes by, you're given more cards. And so you have to, you're constantly getting the stream of cards in, and you're buying cards, you're buying more cards, you're selling cards, you're trading. And then there's a final 6 minute period, and then you go into the tournament, which is bread and butter for points, but it's really not the heart of the game. This is the heart of the game, is the buying, selling, trading. The tournament, though, is a lot of fun as well. So this is the player mat. You've got your collection area. This is where you set the decks. You set your deck up for the tournament. Like I said, you can only choose a certain amount of cards for that. Your binder just kind of will keep all the other cards. This has a reference sheet for everything else. Once that timer runs out, though, everybody flips their mat and they go into the tournament section. Okay, someone came to the door and they had internet options. You flip the player mat, and you've got your tournament section here. So you've got a spot for the 8 singles that you can bring into the game, 2 accessories, and a deck box. All this consists of is everybody going around in a circle, flipping a card, and there's different play effects in the game. Now, I'm not going to get into all the details of that. Honestly, I've added to my feature channel's Cardboard Stacker. Ferdinand over there goes over a ton of Millennium Blade videos, and they're all really good and will explain the game a lot better than I can. And so play goes, you're flipping cards, and you're trying to earn RP, which are the tournament points, rank points, I think is what it is. Whoever has the most RP at the end of the tournament wins first prize, second place gets second place, and there's different point amounts for that. And then you flip the player mat back over, and you continue on to the second deck building phase, which is what we covered before. The tournaments, in comparison to the deck building phase, are quick, but they are not the most fun part of the game. It is a very enjoyable, very fun part of the game, but the brain burning and time constrained deck building phase is the most fun part. So obviously, maintaining a box like this with this many cards and this many components could be a little bit annoying. I found a solution that's worked quite well for me. It's a little bit of modification. I basically just bought deck boxes, Velcro, and a label maker. And as you can see, I'll put it on the screen right here. It is an easy way to contain and organize all the different types of cards here. It's an overwhelming looking game, but it's not one that's difficult to learn or teach. And so I played it with people that are not familiar with this type of playing, and they've loved it. I have not had this game fall flat with anyone, except maybe my little sister, who, despite her not liking it, she grasped the concept of it, and I think she ended up winning. So Millennium Blades is currently my favorite game. I've not had as much fun with the game as I have with Millennium Blades, and I am very excited about the upcoming expansion coming out. And I'm excited to get to play this again sometime soon. I'm actually going to do a rules video at some point in the future, just a quick overview of setup and gameplay. And yeah, so this is Millennium Blades. I hope that explains why I enjoy this game so much. The reprint is coming soon. I think it's shipping, it was supposed to be November. It probably isn't shipping until December or January now. But there is a reprint coming, so it will become available. It's available now. But it'll be more widely available shortly in the future. And this is currently my favorite game, and I absolutely would recommend it. Thank you for watching. I'm Daniel Robinson, and this is Plumpy Thimble. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe.